Master work mugs. That's great. Thieves earlier. The merchants who are coming and going. They're slaughtering. We're getting our coffers. Oh yeah, I do have the job for the cabinets because they're clearly being made here. Good. Our bedrooms are being decked out. Oh, look at the people are socializing, watching a suturing demonstration. There we go. All right. Now, I don't think we actually have anyone assigned to the hospital for any of the tasks. Oh, we need a chief medical dwarf. Okay. We have someone who's appropriate for that. Well, Ever Marco is an accomplished diagnostician. Sure, that seems fine. We'll throw you in. And then... I think any role we don't fill is... No, it's not the chief medical dwarf, the doctor. Doctor's the generic task. And any role that doesn't have a specific person will do that. But we can do it. Ever Marco, who's our chief medical dwarf, can also be assigned to be our diagnostician. Tasty Velociraptor is actually an adequate surgeon. They're also our brewer. We might want to take them off the brewing job. And then bone doctoring. I don't think we can have... Yeah, we can't have someone assigned to multiple things. So currently we don't have anyone who'd be a good bone doctor. I'm actually wondering if I might leave that off. Just have... What if we just put Ever Marco as a... So chief medical dwarf and the generic doctor, who should, I believe, do... Well, currently everything, because we don't have anyone in specific roles. I'm still a little confused by the new doctoring system in Steam and what the roles do. It is different from how it used to work, but I think that's correct. Surgeon and brewer, yeah, helps him keep a steady hand. Oh, all of our armor stands and our weapon racks are all set up over here, which is nice. We're still waiting for a chest, which makes sense. There's a bit of queue over here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to the top of the queue. It's more important, I'd say, for this chest to be made than all the ones in the bedrooms, because then they can store some instruments here. And we do have some instruments because we've stolen some from the humans. We may have traded for some dwarves too. I don't remember. You have a farm in this run? We do. We had a little surface farm set up for a second, but we don't really actually have enough seeds and anything for that. So we have, here's our farm plot over here. Currently nothing is growing because we're actually okay. But if we do start cooking, we're going to run into a little bit more of that. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make sure we've got our seed limitation set up. So if we go into our, I guess it's under labor and then kitchen, right? These seeds here. Right now, all of our seeds are blocked. Plum helmets, strawberry seeds, string beans. I guess we could be growing more strawberries, but we probably have a bunch, and that's okay. In here, there is Seed Watch. We can open up the GUI for it. So this is enabled. Target of 30. So what this should do, I believe, is this will make it so that anything that's got more than 30 seeds will be enabled for cooking. And once it goes below 30, I think it'll turn cooking off, which is interesting because assuming that was true, then one would assume that strawberry seeds would be allowed for cooking, and they weren't on that other screen. Now, there's also, what is it, Control-Shift-E? There's another automated tool for, like, kitchen stuff. Seed watch, prioritize. No, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's it. So theoretically, that'll get toggled on and off. Would one cook strawberry seeds? I don't know, you mash them up. Well, I mean, you can cook, there's lots of edible seeds, right? Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, for example. Strawberry seeds are admittedly kind of small, but dwarves are an industrious bunch, so, you know, who knows? Oh, the render fat job has started automatically. Look at all the tallow waiting over here. Or, oh, the tallow's waiting to be unloaded. I guess we don't have a spot designated to take the tallow, or just no one's gotten around to hauling it yet, which is entirely possible, because I suspect people are still pretty busy. Let's start making some meals. Now, do you guys start with simple meals right away? Do you go do you go to like lavish meals immediately? Like, what's your vibe food-wise? think a lot of times I split the difference and I just start making some fine meals. Dwarves are certainly happier if they eat an actual prepared meal versus just raw food. And then, of course, the quality of the meal gives them more and more happy thoughts. Always lavish said sleeveless. Sleeveless. AO King says do lavish right away. I think that's a lot of people do that now, but why? Is it just because just to maximize moods right away? And honestly, food's not that hard to come by. You stole enough food, you could probably skip simples. That's an excellent point, Green Elite. Okay, so I like the idea. We'll put in a job here for lavish meals. I was just checking on caps lock. We can go ahead and make them like 10 at a time or whatever. Unrotten prepared meals. Do we try to keep... These do add a lot of value to the thing. It's also really good for selling. Selling excess meals is pretty good. I don't know how many we need to keep around necessarily. Let's put in 50. Now, that happens to be about our population. I don't think you need to keep as many meals as your population. This should just be a good buffer amount. So we'll go ahead and set something up like that. Yeah, I think for a while, food went like exponential value for trading, which was ridiculous. Like one meal could be worth like 40,000 dwarf bucks. I think that is fixed, but it's still a source of income. Like a good high quality meal is still worth a fairly decent amount. And so we could go and we could run a fort one day that makes their economy just selling food. Right? We could just be Mac Dwarfies and sell people these finished meals. Cole says, I've just started on Dwarf Forts myself. Watch all YouTube videos for inspiration. Oh, thanks! Wasn't it because stacking quality markers for stuff like alcohol used as ingredients? Maybe. I don't know what the reason was. I hadn't dug into it. The takeaway fort? Yeah. Oh, we have a mayor! Quarky Plugs has become our mayor. I guess, yeah, our population... Does it happen at 50? It might. So Quarky Plugs is our mayor. What are you forbidding us? Export of both prohibited. That's fine. So it might be relevant for us to take a close look at Quarky Plugs and their preferences and things. So you like granite, bismuth, bronze, jelly opal, orange wood, the color yellow green, bolts, cabinets. So most likely we are going to get requests to make bolts and or cabinets and to not sell them. The words of the Bridge of Guilds and the sight of the fragrance bewildering. When possible, he prefers to consume a giant hare, 2-grain wheat beer, chestnuts, and strawberries. He absolutely detests worms. Maybe we should go back to planting strawberries. We have strawberry seeds, and our mayor specifically likes strawberries. So I got rid of our surface farm before the stream started, but I'm going to go ahead and plop it down here. So it's not actually going to be that shape because some of these tiles are not viable, I think. I wonder, will they get angry when he bolts and losing them? Every time I see this game, it makes me wish there was an equivalent called Elf Fortress. I mean, with the Masterwork mod, I thought, could you play as elves? You could play as different races. You could play as kobolds and stuff. I don't think it's been updated for the new version of DF. Alright, so we're still waiting for some chests and things to be made, which is theoretically fine. If you take a look at our stoneworkers over here. Huh, they made a bunch of blocks, there's nothing else. Is our chest job not happening? Is there any chance we don't have enough non-economic stone? I suspect that's not the case. Oh, there's our coffer job. It was near the top. Again, I really wish we could search this. No, we don't have more than 10 pieces of non-economic hard rock kicking around. So we have to do some random mining just to get some extra stone. We got to do some quarrying. So what I was thinking of doing, just so that our auto vein doesn't go crazy, is I was going to explicitly dig a little border around here. Plus, it'll keep our fort looking nice, right? Like if we compare to these other floors where things are a little chunky here, I'm going to leave an explicit border around here. And then... Actually, maybe I'll do it near the staircases. That feels like it makes some sense. Got the whole corner. I'm going to do this. Or am I just do something like a little 1-and-1? Oh yeah, I'm going to do it that way instead. There you go. So they'll dig that, and then we'll auto vein mine. So we'll always have this sort of extra wall here. It's also going to be good for providing line of sight blockers. The other thing I was wondering, because line of sight can be one of the things that slows down your fort later on, all the line of sight checks. Although Putnam, I think that's the new programmer on the squad over there. I think they've done a lot of work to optimize that. But apparently, what we always thought for a long time was like pathfinding was slowing things down and stuff. Apparently, it was just a bunch of line of sight checks that was dramatically slowing down the game. And I think that's been optimized a lot. But knowing that, people have gone and tweaked their fort designs to try to limit line of sight checks. So around staircases, because dwarves are always going up and down stairs. So right now, every time they pop to this level of the staircase, they're going to look down this hallway and look down this hallway. And so by just plopping some little doors around there, it can limit how much they just go and like eyeball stuff. Flag to dig out the stairs. Oh, it's just bordered. Yeah, I don't think I can just dig the stairs. It would have to be a remove construction kind of thing. So we may here want to go and specify to dig out some of these veins, like just in general, which would be good. But right now what we're looking for is non-economic stone, which limestone is not actually. Limestone is a flux stone, so it is an economic stone. Now we can let our dwarves use limestone for non-economic tasks, but we'd rather not. Whereas like really what we want to do is dig out all the shale over here, because that's going to be what we want. So I propose though, rather than, you know, doing anything, although we could use dig VL in DF hack to dig out layer stone as opposed to a vein automatically. We might do a bunch of that, but what I'm thinking is we'll just dig out a few layers like this at a time. Nothing like an advert to remind you to resubscribe. Yeah! Subscribers get no ads. We have not breached a cavern level yet. And given our limitation of wood, actually, let's take a quick stock of our... Is it under logs or wood? It is under logs. We have 40 logs remaining, which is a good amount. And again, right now, theoretically, the only thing we're using logs for are for beds. We should never have to use it to make charcoal, because we should have a very large amount of coal and lignite kicking around. So yeah. So hopefully. We're getting a lot more limestone than non-economic stuff. I might have to go and tell it to do a... just a dig out of layer stone. The other thing I could do maybe to like help with the pathfinding system is just on this outside layer here, I could designate it as like a super low traffic area, so that the pathfinding system won't really look in this direction to go places unless it has to. Mudstone over here. Now, I think we're deep enough to dodge the aquifer, because one of the surprises on this map, even though I embarked somewhere that wasn't supposed to have an aquifer, we did run into them. This was originally going to be our ramp to come into our base, and then we checked the other side over here, and it's an aquifer, and it's not a light aquifer. I think it's a heavy aquifer. But if we go down a few Z levels, over here, we've done some random digging around, and we haven't hit the aquifer over here. So I suspect we're underneath it, which is nice, which gives us more flexibility for where we dig and things. We might still make use of that aquifer as a source of infinite water. It's very convenient for that. Very convenient for that. A lot of people always want to embark somewhere with an aquifer because they have an infinite water source available. So we sort of have like the best of both worlds here in that we didn't have to breach the aquifer, but it's still available, so we can still get water out of it. It was a little annoying because it was in the place where I tried to dig first, but overall might be okay. So anyway, with that, I was thinking about the aquifer, but also the cavern layer would be a source of water that we could do as well. And certainly it can be a source of trees, which kind of hyped about. Oh, one of the things is because we have so many more people, we need to kit out the rest of our squad here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to assign position. We've got the new version of DF Hack. Auto sorts this list based on the people who are potentially the most effective in the roles over here. I think this number is like their total score in the quality for, in the rating for military. It also... Right now, it also includes people who are already in squad, but you can filter that out, which is another thing that's going to be a huge win. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have anyone actually skilled over here, so the people are basically just being rated based on their just raw physical stats. But let's go and fill out the oily tails here. So we'll get Mixthos, who's a fishery worker. We might skip over Truce Chat here, because weaponsmithing might be something that we value a little bit in a non-military role. Steelbrain over here. I mean, we've got a legendary metal crafter if we want it, so Steelbrain will go into the military. Bookworm Leo is our Holy Lash, so I'm not going to assign them. Shamza. Merlin of Chaos, Serial Hobbit, and Assure Axel. Sure Axel R. There we go. You guys are going to finish off the squad. Oh, and I'm going to go and set the squad to training mode once again. So those dwarves should go and start picking up some of their equipment, and we'll start doing some training as well. Steel Brain, the metal crafter that tracks. It does track, doesn't it? Okay, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into mining. Oop. I'm going to wait for the autosave to finish. Then I'm going to go into mining mode. I'm going to put my cursor over here. And then what I'm going to do in DF hack is I'm going to use dig VL. Dig L. Dig all the selected layer stone. There we go. So this is just specifically going to be digging out shale over here, which will give us a lot of raw, non-economic stone. And it's very convenient to be able to do that. It's like the opposite. It's the anti, like, digging of a metal vein. Oh, doing it on 7 priority might not be a terrible idea either. Although, there's no other mining going on right now, and we have 2 dedicated miners. They're the ones who do it. Yeah, more snatchers that keep visiting. Mono. Oh, one of our stray cats has adopted a dwarf. Okay, so we are planting in here, and we are planting strawberries and potatoes. Ooh. Now, see how we've got like a mix of both strawberry seeds and potatoes? You can do this manually. What you can do is you set one plant. Oh. Oh, right, a second migrant wave. You set one plant to be planted. You wait for some of it to get planted, then you just switch to something else. We're running the auto farm DF hack script right now. That's just doing that for us, and it's just trying to maintain an equal number of basically every plant. So, second migrant wave, I guess, brought some sort of bunny rabbit. There you go. That bunny is roaming. So we'll go ahead and send it in. Seems so unfazed by 2 people coming to snatch your dwarves. Fine. I mean, we've got our military squad training on the surface, in theory. So once the enemies get spotted, they might try to hack at them. Although snatchers are pretty quick, so it actually might be hard to catch them with our melee squad. That's okay. Now, I do want to make some fancier barracks, but we're going to focus, I think, still on what's going on inside of our fortress proper. It is autumn is coming up, so we're going to be doing some trade with the dwarves soon. I suspect there's still tons of stuff over here. Yeah, ridiculous amounts of stuff, in particular, mostly the food. And how is our kitchen coming along? Nothing being made right now. Lavish meal job. Oh, we have more than 50 unrotten prepared meals. Does that show up under prepared? It does. We have 163 prepared meals. Did we steal a bunch from the humans? Maybe we did, and that might be one of the reasons our dwarves are so happy, because they've been eating prepared meals all along. So our kitchen is currently not occupied. Congratulations, you now have an oily tail. So, these guys are going to start picking up their gear. Ooh, everyone's got their metal pants. Yellow means what? The item is assigned, but they haven't actually equipped it? Is that it? Can't recall, but I think that's it. Uber Eats Caravan. Oh, petition. The Iron Hall. The Hall of Iron has many members. Now requires a guild hall. It's a metalsmith's guide. All right. Fine. Hall of Iron. Good name. I approve. So yeah, we're going to need to... well, we'll probably just go to another floor and make more guild halls there. Because we're going to need that soon. Oh, what I'll do is... I will #1 priority this. Because, yeah, in the shell. I was saying, oh, it's not a problem that it was set to 4 priority because we're not mining anything else out. Well, now it's a little bit annoying. Caravan has arrived! Excellent. Funny, this floor looks so much bigger because of the way it's framed. Right? It looks like it's smaller, bigger, even though the actual layout's exactly the same between my floors. So, there we go. I have a mug storage right here, which I have flagged for auto trade. So everything that's in this stockpile is automatically being brought over here to be traded. But we can also take a quick look at anything else. We might want to go and randomly, we'll send a gem bin and a finished good bin, and maybe an extra armor bin over here, just in case we need to sell some more stuff. So we're going to flag those to be moved over as well. And we'll ask for a broker to come over here. I wonder, if there's any chance, with all our migrant waves, if we might have someone better than Quirky Plugs, who does need a fancy room, I'm just realizing. Where's... Okay, Appraiser, he's at Competent. No, I guess it's still going to be him. Do we... Okay, Quirky Plugs is our mayor. Do we just take him out of the squad? You know what? I think so. I'm going to replace him with Black Crow, the fish dissector. Okay, Quirky Plugs, our mayor, is no longer part of the military squad. We could trade a lot of those meals. What's interesting is that no meal bins. Oh, wait, prepared food pot right there. Excellent. And another one. And another one. Yep. Good call. All right. Conducting a meeting. Oh! Oh! Merit deserves reward. I come empowered to establish this colony as an official land of our realm. Can you imagine the trade wagons? Of course, there are responsibilities and nobility must live well. Do you have anyone suitable to recommend for elevation? I mean, yeah, let's go and become a barony or whatever the heck. Yeah, I scarcely believe this good news. I have some recommendations. Now, what's a little annoying is at this point, I think it's too late for us to go and check. Oh, no, I can. Excellent. The traits of whomever. So the top of the list is some name for some reason. I don't know if this is ordered this way for a particular reason. But for whatever reason, some name is at the top of the list. Let's take a look real quickly at their preferences, because what we'd ideally want for our noble is someone whose mandates are going to be non-annoying. So some name likes millstones and chains. End up with a bunch of extra millstones and chains as they request things. I mean, maybe. I don't know if there's a faster way to like look for useful things in here, you know? Like if we just mail shirts and bracelets. Making bracelets be annoying, but we do make mail shirts all the time. So Elder Druid might be a good pick for that. You know? Who should it be? Has anyone done anything remarkable? Well, Robodyne is the first person to make an artifact. They like warhammers, bucklers, amulets. Well, we're kind of mostly making full shields rather than bucklers. We could set up like a constant job, because I think they're the mandates, you have a 3-month thing, so we can just set up a job to like make a warhammer once a month or something, and we don't and it's just gonna be an automatic, so we don't have to worry. I don't think we can make amulets directly. You just have to blindly make crafts, so that sounds kind of annoying. And we might want to trade away like good quality amulets. Exactly. Don't need goats. I mean, that's not the end of the world. They just get happier with that. Do we just make Quirky Plugs? I mean, we probably will make bolts on an automated task anyway. And we end up making a fair number of cabinets just for the bedrooms. We could just put in a job that says make 1 cabinet a month for always. We might end up with a few too many in here, but as we go and kit out our bedrooms, they're going to be happy about it. I think I'm just going to make Quirky Plugs. There you go. Already elected mayor, maybe somewhat popular with the populace. What are we going to ask for? Well, at this point, we have like infinitude leather from trading. Anyway, we might still buy some, but I'm not going to ask for it. I think I'm just going to ask for wood. And then under pets... You know what? We'll always ask for drinks as well. But pets, we're going to ask for turkeys. That's probably all we'll ask for. Hold on. Miscellaneous. Always want these as well. Please make sure you bring those. All right. Brokers here. We're still... Or not there. And we're still waiting for some items. Okay, we really need to get onto the fancy...